What's happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have a pocket knife here to unbox for you, coming in from Tenable Knives. This is a new release for them here in 2026, and one of my favorite designs that the Concept brand has ever put out. We are taking a look at the new Deadite, and I absolutely love this design. It is designed by Tough Knives. Now, if this is your first time stopping by here, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your EDC is looking like today. Feel free to let me know the entire loadout. So if you're not familiar with the Deadite, like I said, it is a Tough Knives design, and there is the original right here. These came out in December of 2024, I believe it was, and I consider this to be the turning point for Concept, where they went from really good to great. And I've always wanted to hang on to this knife because it is kind of that benchmark for me. Just my opinion, of course. They've always done really well, but since this knife here, they have just done a spectacular job. That's actually around the time that Tenable was coming around too and started putting out some of their first releases. They are sister companies, if you didn't know that, Tenable and Concept. And Tenable does do their own stuff sometimes, but they pick up a lot of Concept's more premium knives and put them out with different locking systems, different materials, and a much more affordable price point. Now, this one here is going to come in at $120 with the water ripple aluminum textured handles and the VG10 Damascus blade, but you can find them in micarta and 14C for about $60. So between 60 and 120, just depending on the version that you're looking at. As far as the premium Deadite goes, I'm not sure if those are actually still in stock. I'll put it up on the screen if they are. I will try to have links down there to both of these knives. Any discount codes will be down there as well. There's a lot to love about this knife. I really like that clip point blade. I'm a big fan of Tough Knives as well. Let's get a look at the size of this thing here. So we're talking 8 1/4 all day long, 3.5 inches of cutting edge, and we'll say 3 5/8 of total blade. To put that in better perspective for you, we'll bring out some comparison knives. We have the Kershaw Bel Air XL up top here and the Kershaw Bonneville on the bottom. And the Deadite, it's going to be a little bit bigger than both of those. And two more, we have the Real Steel Destra up top and the new Civivi Headbanger on the bottom. We'll bring out the 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank and get a look at this pocket clip. It is their standard deep carry clip, and it does work well. It is surface mounted, but there's plenty of clearance in there to get this over a little bit thicker seams. You'll have maybe 1/8 of an inch poking out of the pocket, just that little corner there. That gives you a nice indicator and a spot to grab a hold of this guy to retrieve it out of the pocket. Like I said, plenty of clearance under there. I would like it, however, if it's going to be right-hand carry only, if they would just recess the pocket clip. I think that makes the most sense. If you're going to do right-hand carry only, recess that clip. There's a lot of companies who struggle with that type of thing. Another knife I wanted to mention that I don't know if it's still in stock, but it's a knife that I've been carrying on and off for the last couple of months. It is the Tenable Orion, and anybody I show this knife to absolutely falls in love with it. I am a big fan of the Orion here. Nitro V with a CNC milled blade. It is just spectacular. Carbon fiber handles. Love this thing. I don't know. I wish they would do an XL of it. The CNC blade, the carbon fiber, just an awesome looking knife in my opinion. But this is the type of stuff that Tenable is capable of, in Concept, obviously. They have been doing a great job. Grab the arch nemesis off the shelf here and give this bad boy a weight check. Now, I like to play a little game here on the channel with these new knives that come in. I attempt to guess the weight, and I always invite you to play along. You put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer, Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and gear, you're in the right place. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you ring the bell. I'm going to give this a go here. I'm going to say it has a little bit of heft to it. You have those nice thick steel liners and then some thick aluminum slabs. I'm betting that this is in the high fours, mid to high fours. You put your guess in the comments. Come on now. I'm going to say 4.7. 4.7. Oh, I'll take that. That's pretty close. 126 grams and 4.4 ounces. I should have just stuck with what I thought. That's why they always say, go with your gut, right? I was thinking 4.5, but had to just bump it up just a little bit. 4.7 though, gives this knife a nice heft to it. Not overly heavy though. You know, it's not like it's 5+ ounces. I would say 4 to 4.5 is a great weight for a full-size pocket knife like this. As I have said in previous videos, I get tired of everything feeling like a air weight or ultra lightweight. Not everything has to be that way, and I'm glad some companies are starting to, you know, turn the corner with that. Not every knife you put out has to be super lightweight. We're going to get the calipers out here and get a couple of measurements on our blade and handle. We'll start off with the handle first. A nice thick 0.5 there and 12.8 millimeters. Go over to the blade stock thickness. That's 2.94 millimeters and 116 thousandths. So very standard stuff on the handle and blade stock. We'll get a measurement here on our BTE and try to get the best hold that we can. That's going to be about 23 thousandths there. I might be a touch high, so it's probably 23 thousandths, which is right on the money with average. Let's see how this cuts out of the box. And our test media for that is always a catalog page, and this blade shape lends itself to being a great poker, a good pierce and slice type of knife, and then just a pure slicer. This edge is beautiful. I can tell already. Yeah. Oh, baby. Yes. And that's, you know, maybe something that a lot of people just don't know, especially if you're a little bit newer or you're fairly new to the knife world. VG10 takes a razor sharp edge. It can take a razor sharp edge. Some of the sharpest stuff I have gotten out of the box has been a few knives in VG10. The DT03 from Knock Knives and Tac Ray, that thing was insanely sharp. Also, Spyderco has had some VG10 stuff in the past. They're probably still doing them right now. And it just takes a nice sharp edge, a good toothy edge, and that is the base for this Damascus. Like I always say, if you want something with a little bit of flair, the Damascus is the way to go. If you're looking more on the performance side or just the casual folding knife side, then of course go with like the 14C variant in the Deadite case. But I will say, you know, I might not be the biggest fan of the VG10 Damascus on the concept line and paying $200-300 for that VG10 Damascus. And not that it's not worth it, but they do like S90V or other steels. In that case, I would go with those. But in the Tenable side, you're still getting the VG10 Damascus, and it's going to be at a much more affordable price tag than through the concept line. So you're going to get really good performance, or pretty good performance, out of this VG10. I would say pretty similar to something like 14C. So you're not really going to be losing anything, and you get that nice little aesthetic touch with the Damascus. We'll go ahead and grab our bid driver out here and see what we're looking at for the hardware situation. Looks like T8 for the pivot, and I like how they did that. I like how they put the pivot collar around the pivot. Looks really good. T8 on the body and T6 on the pocket clip screw there. But you don't need to take that off to disassemble it. So really all you need is your T8. Make sure everything is nice and tight. That is your daily reminder right there. Make sure the hardware on your daily carries are all tightened up. You don't want to find yourself without a body screw or pocket clip screw. Just doesn't lead to good things. This is perfectly centered up. The springs are nice and strong in there on the crossbar lock. I will say they have gotten substantially better than they were a year or so ago. When they put out their first crossbar lock, they had some stuff to work on, but you can just tell over the last year and a half, they have really put good work into making the spring stronger, and it is going to be adjustable. I see at least 3 different adjustment spots, so that is nice. You can increase the tension or you can lighten it up. Nice to have that ability. One of the many great things about this particular design and this knife right here is that it's a crossbar lock. They are notoriously very dependable, very resilient, and I would say pretty damn tough. They're one of the most successful locking systems on a folding knife that you can get your hands on. Whether you like them or not, that, can be up for debate. But what's not up for debate is how reliable the crossbar locks are. They always perform when it comes to a lock test. They do a great job. There's no way around it. We're going to test this one out here. Give this a couple of tugs up and down. There's actually no movement up or down or side to side, which is really nice in this case because bar locks tend to have maybe a slight movement one way or the other. And then we do have a large stop pin in there. So another nice touch. We'll go ahead and we'll start off with a light tap out towards the tip here just to get us going. And we'll close it and check it. No problem there. Nice little medium tap. Close it and check it. Feels good. Sounds good as well. Don't think we're going to have any trouble. I think out of the hundreds of concept and Tenable knives at this point that I have checked out, I think maybe one knife has failed a lock test, and that was a liner lock that had coating on the tang and lock face and was causing it to slip. I was actually able to fix that, so kind of has like a little asterisk next to it, but they do a superb job there at Concept and Tenable with their QC. In my opinion, it's actually, as far as the mainstream brands go, they're one of the best. That's just in my experience and in my opinion. This thing is locked up very, very nicely. For the people who are wondering about the premium variant, there is only 2 out of the 7 versions left. And if I had to guess, they probably won't be bringing this particular version back. Will they bring it back with new flavors or maybe a new lock? That is definitely possible, like they did with the Tenable here. But there's only 2 left, and that'll probably be it. They are going to be right around, let me look here. They're going to be right at $200, both of them coming in S35VN. One of them has shredded carbon fiber. The other one has rose pattern carbon fiber. Both of them are pretty much murdered out type versions, and they look really, really good. The lava flow fat carbon fiber, I think, was one of the first ones to go for good reason. It is an outstanding looking knife. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of the Deadite design here from Tough Knives? I always look forward to hearing from you. I will have links and discount codes down in the description. Do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to be sure to see more dope knife and EDC content on the daily, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel and you ring that bell. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.